Hello, hello. If you are listening to this, this is the very first episode of the podcast, Rich Woman Rising. I am so excited that you're here. I'm so excited. My name is Eloise Tompkins, and I am a money mindset coach and psychologist. And I am here in this podcast to talk to you about all things money, all things psychology, and how you can up level yourself personally so that you can become the best version of yourself and achieve your life goals. Because ultimately, what I want is for you to live the life of your dreams. And you know what? Money is the gateway to that. Money is the gateway to be able to live life on your terms. Money is the gateway to freedom. Money is the gateway to making an impact. Money is the gateway to having more time available to you. So that is why I am obsessed with helping women make more money in their business, because not only is it the money, money isn't the be all and end all, but there is so much more that we can achieve in our life if we have money. So that is the reason that I started this podcast, because I also, and another reason is because I would also see women who were just terrified of money, terrified talking about it, terrified of making it, terrified about asking for it, and also terrified of kind of just having it. So that made me think, well, there is a space to talk about money outside of the practical how-tos of money, because there are a lot of podcasts that will talk about the financial aspects of money, balance, like spreadsheets and profit and loss, and how to make money from a practical standpoint, which is super important. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think all of that stuff is super important. The problem was women know this. We know what we should be doing, what we want to be doing with our money, and we're not doing it because there's this part of us that is blocked. We feel blocked. And we can't actually implement some of those things, even though we want to. I'm like, oh my goodness, why? Why can't I implement those things? I know that what I want to be doing, but even though I have the information and the knowledge, I'm actually not doing the things, or I'm not even learning about money because I think that I'm bad with it. And that that block that gets in the way is exactly what I want to talk about today. And I think it's a great place to start for the first episode. Although there's a lot of ways that I could have started this first episode, but here we are. And there's so many ideas flowing. There will be lots more episodes. So don't worry. I'm not sure whether I'm telling you not to worry or me not to worry right now. Sometimes my brain pings with like so many ideas, and I'm like, no, at least stay on the topic of this podcast episode today. And that's what I'm finding myself doing now. And what I want to talk today about, though, is you and the conflicting parts within you. Because chances are, if you have found this podcast, you've stumbled across this podcast, there's probably a part of you that is wanting to make more money in your business for whatever reason, or you're wanting to improve your relationship with money. You're wanting to change how you think and feel about money, because the way that it's working for you at the moment is not, it's not working. And you know that. And you have these goals, and those goals, like, they're really cool goals. You've got goals to be able to work less because you're working in your business so much. You want to increase the profitability of your services because at the moment your business is just not making the profit that you want, yet you're working so fucking hard. You might have some other goals. You might just know that your relationship with money needs a little bit of work. And at the same time, you can see yourself and those goals. And it's almost like there's this part of you, like almost like this part inside of you that's like, yes, I've got these goals and this is what I want to achieve. And I just kind of, as I'm talking, like, I want you to kind of tap into that part of you that does want to achieve those goals, that part of you that is like excited for the future and is like, wow, yeah, when I achieve my goals, then I'll be able to work less, then I'll be able to have more money to go on holidays. I'll be able to spend more time with my family. I'll be able to make more of an impact in my business. And I just want you to tap into what that feels like. And I also want you to notice, as you're thinking about that part of you who does desire that, I want you to notice that sense of resistance or that sense of, nah, no, I don't think that's really possible. Or, nah, are you sure? I don't think that's realistic. Because what I often find is we can have all of these incredible goals, desires, hopes for ourselves, and we want to up level, we want to reach them. And we absolutely can. The thing is, you absolutely can. The problem that I often see is that we try so hard to move towards those goals, and we don't acknowledge the other part that's kind of resistant to that. The part that says, are you sure? Oh, I don't know that you can do that. Oh, but that's a bit ambitious. What are other people going to think about you? You can't post that on social media. Like, are you serious? That's ridiculous. You can't charge those prices. If you charge those prices, people aren't going to pay. And so it almost becomes like you've got this, on the one hand, part of you that is like pushing on the accelerator, desperate to move forward. And there's that other part that's got its foot on the brakes. It's like, not happening. And you want to work on the part that has got its foot on the accelerator, and you want to feed that. You want to give that all the tools, all the love, and all the nurturance. And we kind of try and shut the door on the other side. And we kind of try and block out the foot that's on the accelerator, on the brake. We try and ignore it. So we push harder on the accelerator. We're like, right, let's go. Until our foot is like fully pressed on the accelerator. Like, and we're not going anywhere because that other foot is on the brake, but we're ignoring it. And the interesting thing is, we actually need to take our foot off the accelerator and take a look at why the other foot is on the brake and acknowledge that, because a lot of the time that side of us, that part of us, is trying to keep us safe in a lot of ways. And we don't particularly like it because it's getting in our way. It's getting in the way of our goals. And we think, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just let me accelerate. Let me go at full speed because I want to get to my destination. And I get it. Like, we want to move, right? We want to drive along the highway and reach our destination. But a car has brakes for a reason. And the reason that our car has brakes is in moments where we need to slam them on to keep us like safe. That's what the brake is going to do. And if our foot is on the brake, like, the car is going to stop. We are just not going to move forward, no matter how hard we're pressing on the accelerator. So wouldn't it be nice to kind of take your foot off the accelerator just for a little while and get to know why your foot is on the brake to begin with? Because I will often see women with their foot on the accelerator, and they'll be in group coaching masterminds, or they'll be working with a business coach, or they'll be working with an accountant. They'll be doing all of the things that on the surface they should be doing when it comes to their relationship with money, but they won't be implementing. And they'll be like, but why am I not implementing? Why am I not doing the things? Like, why am I stuck? Because they're looking as though they're doing, and their foot is still on the brake. And when we look at what their foot on the brake is saying, it's kind of like it's scared. It's fearful. Can you actually do this? Do you deserve to be here? Who are you to want to make $1 million? Nobody in your business has ever earned that much before. Who are you to think that you can make that much money? It can be a really critical voice. And it can tell you all of these things, that you're not good enough, that you can't do it, that you're not worthy, that you're not deserving, that it's too hard, that you'll never make it. And that brings about a lot of emotion with it. And we try and just shove it down, and we try and tell it to go away. I've been there. I have been guilty of that. Because we think that if we can just ignore that, if we can just ignore the fact that our foot is on the brake, then we'll eventually get to our destination. And look, maybe the car might, oh gosh, like what's that word? I'm trying to think of it. I'm like bunny hop on the road. When I used to drive a manual car, when I was learning how to drive manual, I definitely did a lot of those bunny hops. So I'm kind of imagining the car like going bloop, 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 bloop along the road. Maybe you might bunny hop to your destination, but you're going to ruin the car, which is you. Like, your nervous system's going to be fucking shot. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be burnt out. Your progress is going to be slow. You're going to be overwhelmed because you're trying to focus all of your energy on the accelerator and not actually acknowledging the side that's on the brake. And so that's where reprogramming the subconscious comes into it. And that's exactly why I've created this podcast. And that's exactly why I have created the Millionaire Mindset Academy. It's exactly why I work one-on-one with clients, because I want to help take the pressure off. I want to help take your foot off the brake by ironically focusing on the brake, listening to what that has to say, because once that is actually heard, it allows you to put your foot on the accelerator and you'll actually make faster progress. And I see that time and time again, where once we invite both parts to the table and are like, hang on a minute, why are you actually blocking me? Why are you getting in my way? That's when progress actually happens the fastest. The more that we try and keep it blocked, the more that we try and keep it contained, the more that we try to ignore and avoid, pretend like it doesn't exist, the slower our progress is actually going to be. I know it sounds crazy, right? But in order to speed up, we need to slow down. And I think for me, like, this was something I really hated to hear. Like, what do you mean I have to slow down to speed up? That's ridiculous. I don't want to do that. I just want to get to my goal. Yeah, it did not happen. Did not happen like that at all. But when I decided to slow down, I actually sped up, and I have sped past people who were at a similar stage of the journey prior. But because I slowed down and allowed myself that time and space, it sped up. And you might have seen that in other areas of your life as well. And you might be thinking, oh yeah, I've noticed a time where I have kind of given myself that time and space, because it's really powerful. Not always fun, not always pleasant, because it means reflecting inwards, and it can mean reflecting on some difficult stuff. It can mean sitting with some uncomfortable feelings, and it can be uncomfortable. But the thing is, comfortable and remaining in that place of comfort is not going to get you to your goal. I hate to tell you that, but it's true. Like, being comfortable is just not going to get you there. So if you want to reach that next level, then maybe it's time to focus on the foot that's on the brake. Figure out why it's on the brake and lean into that discomfort, because that is going to be the thing that differentiates you from where you are now to where you want to go. So I hope that this first episode of the podcast has inspired you to come back and keep listening to more episodes. There have been a bunch that I have just released, so you can binge a couple of episodes at a time. I cannot wait to share more episodes with you, and I look forward to seeing you in future episodes. If you did love this episode, come say hi to me on Instagram. Let me know that you listened to the podcast, and let me know a takeaway that you had from this session, because I love hearing those. I love seeing those messages slide into my DMs. So please don't be shy. And I'll see you next time. Bye.